everyone, it's Tara. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with an unhaul video, which is why there's this giant stack of books next to me. It's been a year-ish since my last unhaul, and I've got some books I want to get rid of. So, some of these books are going to people in my family that have expressed interest in them. And the rest of them, I think I'm just donating. There's various like little free libraries I might drop these off at. And I've seen people on my town's community forum page asking for book donations. Typically I donate all of my books that I no longer want to my library, but my library is still closed. And I had seen, and I don't know if this is accurate or not, but I had seen that the library is not going to be accepting donations right away, just because of the virus, and they have to do different things regarding disinfecting and all of that. So I want these out of my house, so I'm finding somewhere to go donate them. So I've divided these books into 4 different categories. I have books that I've just kind of lost interest in. So if you think I should read these, let me know, because I probably won't get rid of the bulk of them right away. But I'm not really interested in them anymore. Then I have books that I just have duplicate copies of, because when I go to library book sales, I try and look for better condition copies of books I have. So I have duplicate copies. I have a stack of books that I read and I just don't think I'm ever going to reread, and then books that I DNF'd and I just am completely not interested in reading. So we'll go ahead and start with the stack of books that is on the couch with me, which is the books that I've just kind of lost interest in and I don't think I'm going to read. So yeah. First up, Murder in the Smithsonian by Margaret Truman. This one, it's not that I'm not interested in it anymore. It's that I know that every library in America has this series, and I think it's a pretty lengthy series, and I just don't think I'm going to want to collect the entire series. So if and when I decide to read it, I'll borrow it from the library. And then I have People of the Wolf by W. Michael Geer and Kathleen O'Neill Geer, and The Clan of the Cave Bear by Jean M. Auel. These are both books that my mom read and were in my house growing up, and I saw them and I was like, oh, maybe I'll read them at some point, but I'm not really interested in them, and I'm pretty sure my mom has both of these and the rest of both of the series, so I can always borrow them from her if I decide I want to read them. Okay, now we have Christmas Babies by Christopher Keane and William D. Black. I got it at a library book sale. I'm just not really interested in it anymore. The Final Kill by Meg O'Brien. The Babysitter by Diana Diamond. These are both thrillers that I'm sure they're perfectly fine. I'm just not interested in. And The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I actually unhauled this as part of my TBR glass thing. I saw the movie, I liked the movie, but I'm not interested enough in the book to read 644 pages and then continue the series. So then I have the Mother-Daughter Book Club, the autobiography, the Mother-Daughter Book Club is by Heather Vogel Frederick. The Autobiography of Santa Claus, as told to Jeff Gwynne. The Scarecrow by Michael Connelly. Major Pettigrew's Last Stand by Helen Simonson. Black and Blue by Anna Quindlen. I read another one of her books last year and gave it 2 stars. I did not like it at all. So I'm kind of just would I like another one of her books? I don't know. This could be fine, but she doesn't have a great track record with me. To Try Men's Souls by Newt Gingrich and William R. Forstchen. Single State of Mind by Andy Dorfman. This was a book outlet purchase. I am a member of Bachelor Nation. I watch the shows and saw this for like, I think it was $2 or less on book outlet and got it, and just haven't read it since then. I got this like early last year, I think, and I'm just not interested in it. When She Woke by Hillary Jordan, which is another thriller. The Jane Austen Book Club by Karen Joy Fowler. I really liked this movie. I tried listening to the audiobook of this, and it was like very hard to follow. I would possibly try this again in the future, but I'm also kind of like, I've seen the movie. My sister told me that the book and the movie are pretty, like the movie follows the book pretty well, so maybe I'm just okay watching the movie. I don't know. Then A Private Hotel for Gentle Ladies by Ellen Cooney. This was another library book sale purchase. This one still like somewhat interests me a little bit, but I tried reading it and I think it was a little bit hard to get into. But this is one of the books I'm sending to my sisters, so if I decide that I want to read it, I'll just have her send it back to me. And then we have The Last Time I Saw You by Elizabeth Berg, which was another library book sale purchase. The only other books I have here as part of this stack is the Anne of Green Gables series, and then the Chronicles of Avonlea and the Further Chronicles of Avonlea, all by L.M. Montgomery. I DNF'd Anne of the Island and just have no interest in reading this series anymore. Like, I'm not going to ever like continue reading the series. So I am keeping books 1 and 2 because I really, really enjoyed the first one, and then the second one was okay, so I think I'm going to keep those 2 and then just get rid of the rest of these. Next up, I'm going to do the books that I've DNF'd and I'm just not interested in ever reading again. First up, super controversial, I know, Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I read this, I probably got like 100 to 150 pages in, and I was enjoying parts of the story, but I'm not a fan of very like explicit, very like graphic, very detailed sex scenes, and that was what a lot of this book was. I DNF'd it. Really don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Again, this is a book that I'm sending to my sister. If I decide I absolutely have to read it, I'll ask her if I can borrow it. And then I have The Nanny Diaries by Emma McLaughlin and Nicola Kraus. I tried listening to this on audio. I wasn't really invested in anything that was happening, so I DNF'd it. I've also owned this book, like the physical copy of this, for years, and it's been sitting on my shelves forever, and I've never picked it up, and then when I did pick up the audio, I wasn't engaged, so it's gone. And then Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, which I unhauled in one of my like wrap-up videos. This was another one that I just found myself not really caring what happened. So it's gone. Next up are just books that I have duplicate copies of. Don't need 2 copies. A lot of these are John Grisham, so I'll start with those. Because his books are really easy to find, like better editions of. So I have The Street Lawyer, The Partner, A Painted House, and The Litigators. I think I read The Litigators. It's a really good book. I enjoyed it. I don't think I've read the rest of these, but I have duplicate copies of them, so I'm just getting rid of them. Nothing wrong with them. I just don't need 2 copies. Then I have Sam's Letters to Jennifer and Sunday at Tiffany's by James Patterson. Again, these are just duplicate copies. Sam's Letters to Jennifer I read in May, and I really enjoyed this story. It's also a really quick audiobook. It's like 4 hours approximately. Really good story. I just, again, don't need 2 copies. And then I have Daddy's Little Girl by Mary Higgins Clark and Postmortem by Patricia D. Cornwell. Then my last stack. These are books that I've read and I just don't see myself ever wanting to reread. That's really all it is. So let me start with all of my Nicholas Sparks books. So I have The Choice. I'm pretty sure I read this one. I might not have read this one. A Walk to Remember, The Best of Me, The Wedding, and The Rescue, all by Nicholas Sparks. I've been finding that I'm not as into Nicholas Sparks as much now as I was like in high school and college. I think my reading tastes have just changed, and I'm not really a fan of the insta love trope as much anymore. Then I have An Amish Christmas by Cynthia Keller. I don't remember. I think I read this like 2 or 3 like Christmas seasons ago. I don't remember hating this. It's just I don't think I'm ever going to read it again. And then I have Foul Play by Janet Ivanovich. Same thing. I don't remember hating it. I read it. I'm just not ever going to read it again. Then these last 3. It took me a while to kind of settle on the fact that I was going to get rid of these. Actually, not this one. The Devil Wears Prada. I did not enjoy this. It had one of like the most, like I was not a fan of this character. I really I just didn't enjoy it. I mean, it was a quick audiobook listen. It was an easy audiobook listen, but not really a fan. I think I preferred the movie way better. There wasn't really a plot, in my opinion. You just kind of followed this super unlikable character who gets worse and worse as the book progresses and destroys like these like fantastic relationships with these fantastic people that she had because she kind of just turns into a total bitch, in my opinion. So I just really didn't like it. So this is gone. Then I decided I want to unhaul All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda. I gave this 3 stars. It was an okay thriller. I didn't hate it. I think, and I've said this a few times, this book I probably would have enjoyed more if I read it physically and not listened to the audio, because I was confused at times. But this isn't a thriller that I think I'm ever going to read again. Like, there are some thrillers that I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to like reread it to pick up on things that I missed, and like thrillers by my favorite authors I'm going to hold on to. But this one was just okay. Like, I didn't hate it, but I don't think I'm ever going to read it again. So again, I need the room on my shelves, so I'm gonna get rid of it. And then last book that I'm getting rid of is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I can never pronounce his name. I just read this in May. Was it in May? I don't even remember. I think it was in May. May was like a really long month. This was another one that like really had me torn because I almost DNF'd this and didn't care what happened. And then once I decided to like push through and read a little bit more, I ended up reading like 200 pages in one day. I've said this a few times. I just feel like what this author did, other authors and other books have done better. I was kind of like annoyed by it. And overall, it was kind of just, it was a letdown. And I think a lot of the reason why it was a letdown is this book was like raved about everywhere. So many people said it was fantastic. I'm pretty sure it was like a book of the month, like selection, like for like book of the year. And I read it like thinking this was going to be like the best book of all time. And I just kind of was like, just a little bit let down. And this is another book that I don't think I'm ever going to read again. And I was just kind of let down by it. So I am getting rid of it. So those are all of the books I am going to be getting rid of hopefully soon. If there are any of the books that I have not read that I just kind of decided I was not interested in that you think I should read, let me know down below. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.